Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. Ellarie here. Today I'm reviewing the Huda Beauty foundations. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with these by now. I was sent 3 of the brown shades, Cocoa, Mocha, and Nutmeg. I'm not sure if any of these are a match for me, but we're about to find out. I also received this Complexion Perfection makeup base, face primer, and this buffing brush, which feels amazing. So first, I guess what I'm going to do is swatch all 3 of these on my arm to get a feel of which one might be a fit for me. I believe, according to the numbers, Mocha is the lightest of the 3, Cocoa is in the middle, and Nutmeg is the darkest of the 3. It comes with a pump, thankfully. Some foundations still do not come with a pump and you have to buy it separately. MAC. But I love when they include the pump already attached. It's very convenient. Let's get started. So this first swatch is Mocha. Kind of close to my skin tone, but a little lighter than I usually like to go. The second one is Cocoa. I think this one is probably going to be my match. It's very close to my skin tone and it looks like it's drying a little bit darker. And this last one is Nutmeg. So this is the darker one, probably a little too dark for me, but as you can see, this looks like it's going to be pretty full coverage. It covered up my tattoo. These feel really creamy, by the way. So based on the swatches, I think I'm gonna go with the middle shade, which is called Cocoa. It's drying on my arm and it looks like they dry a little bit darker, so I'm hoping it's not gonna dry too dark for me. All 3 of these look to be pretty warm. The first 2 have a little bit more yellow in it, and it looks like the darkest one has a little bit more red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on half of my face because I'm still not sure if this is going to be my shade, because like I said, as it's drying on my arm, it's drying a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to put this on half of my face and see how I feel after it sets before I continue on with the other side. That way you guys can see the coverage, the finish, and how it looks compared to makeup and no makeup. This smells really different than a lot of my other foundations. Almost like a perfume, like a good smelling perfume, but it smells like a perfume, which is a little scary because I try not to use anything really heavily scented on my face, but it smells good though. Okay, so I just let it set for a few minutes. I look crazy. Compared to this side, it does look pretty dark. It matches with my neck really well though, so that's a good thing. I actually like the color this dark though. Like, don't think I'm crazy, but when I like do the rest of my makeup, you'll understand why. Like, granted, I love my Fenty Beauty 420 foundation. Like, I love it. I wear it every day, but it is a closer match to my skin tone. So if I overly highlight, you know, or go too far with my highlight, make it too dramatic, sometimes it makes my face too bright just because the foundation matches my skin so perfectly that when I add the lighter concealer, it makes my whole face brighter and it doesn't go with my neck. You understand what I'm saying? So this one I feel like is going to be better for those occasions where I like to have a really dramatic highlight, because it's going to keep it dark in all the areas that I want to stay dark, which means I won't have to overly contour. But this is definitely going to be like my summertime tan and normal days foundation, and then I can switch back to Fenty in the winter time. I know it looks crazy because I'm looking at myself like, oh, but I think this color is a better match for me than the other one will probably be, just because it transitions better, and when I highlight, it's going to lighten up anyway. The lighter one, Mocha, I'll give you guys a little swatch of what this looks like on the bottom of my chin. See how it matches me like perfectly? But it doesn't match my neck perfectly. But it is a closer match to my skin tone. Actually, it's like perfect, but I like it a little bit darker. Oh, now I'm confused now I see it on there because it actually looks kind of bomb. Am I changing my mind? I just realized I didn't put on the freaking primer. So I think I changed my mind. I don't know. I don't know what to do. This one is kind of like perfect. Like, it's perfect. Can't lie. So yeah, I'm changing my mind. I'm gonna actually go with Mocha for the full face because even though I know this one will look good with my concealer, it might set even darker at the end of the day. Sometimes I have foundations that by the end of the day, they look like way darker than they did in the beginning of the day, just because the sun and the environment, all those things come into play. So this one actually might get a little darker, and this one might be too dark at the end of the day. Like I might look like a smokestack if I go with this shade. So I really like it. It's really beautiful, and it's definitely still gonna be probably my summertime foundation, but I think Mocha was made for me. And I'll show you guys what it looks like on my arm because they're all dried now. Yeah, I was tripping. Looking at these swatches, the middle shade is actually too dark. It didn't look as dark when I first watched it though, so I thought it was gonna be closer, but Mocha is my shade. So I'm gonna take this off, and then I'm gonna use the primer because I forgot to use the primer. So I'm gonna take this off, put the primer on, and see how that feels. Okay, so hopefully y'all weren't laughing too hard at me when I said that darker shade was my shade, because it wasn't. It wasn't. I went in the bathroom and I was like, whoa, this was actually way darker than it looked with this ring light. So my bad. But I guess it was meant to be because I needed to take it off anyway because I forgot to try the primer. So I'm gonna try that now. Let my face, oh, it has a pump too. Hey, pump, 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 pump it up. I just looked hello right now. Okay, comes out white. It's pretty thick. It has the same kind of smell, but this one almost smells like a cookie, like a candle. A really good smelling candle. It is a lot thicker than my normal primer, which I don't mind because it kind of feels like a moisturizer too. So per usual with primers, I probably won't be able to give you guys a really great opinion in this video because it's my first time using it. And like I did with the Fenty primer, I came back and updated you guys on how I felt about that in the Rihanna inspired makeup tutorial I did not too long ago. So with this one, the only thing I can give you now is like my first impression, which is that it's a little thicker than I'm used to. It's tacky, which I love. It smells really good. I'm just worried that because it's a little thicker and a little bit heavier than my normal primer, that it may leave me a little bit more oily than I like at the end of the day, but I have no idea. Like, it could totally be a mattifying primer, I don't know. So I'll have to update you guys on the next video I do, or on Snapchat. And I do feel like it did what it's supposed to do as far as blurring my pores and giving me a nice smooth base to apply my foundation, which is what primers are supposed to do. Other than knowing how it's going to leave me at the end of the day, so far I kind of like that it feels tacky and it smells really good. So now that I know my color is Nutmeg, I am about to reapply this on my entire face. Look at that. That is perfect. We're back. Like, oh my gosh, I see the light. Okay, so now I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup off camera and come back with my final review on the Faux Filter foundation, the primer, and this little brush here, which ain't so bad. Okay, so here are my final thoughts. So far, I really like it. My favorite thing about it is the coverage. This one for me was more of a fuller coverage than I'm used to, and I kind of liked that because it's been hard for me to find a really good full coverage foundation that I like. What I didn't initially like about it, like after I had all the foundation on, my face felt a little heavy. I don't know if that's due to the primer or the foundation or the combination of both, because they're both on the thicker side. But after I spray my setting spray and let it rest on my skin a little bit, it doesn't feel as heavy as it did initially, probably just because I'm not thinking about it anymore. I've only had it on for about an hour now. I am pretty matte, so it doesn't, you know, it's not dewy or oily on me so far. I still don't know how I feel about this shade, because like when I go into other rooms in my house, it's like on the lighter side for me. I feel like I'm in between Mocha and Cocoa. Cocoa is the one that I had on the right side of my face that ended up being a little on the darker side for me. And right now I just have on Mocha alone, but I feel like ideally I'd be like right in the center of these two. So I may try to mix them together next time to see if I like the color a little bit more, but for now, like, I feel like this color is okay, but I keep changing my mind every time I step out the room and look in a different mirror, because I feel like for me it's just like a half a shade too light than I like. But I'll be sure to update you guys on a future video as far as the color choice that I feel like worked best for me, whether or not it's this one or the mixture of the two. I'm going to experiment with those in the next couple of days because I do like this foundation, so if I can get the color right, it's going to be one of my new faves. I also am going to test it with a different primer because like I said, after applying everything, it did feel a little bit drier. I'm fine now, but I want to kind of see if the dryness came from the primer or if it's just, you know, the thickness of the foundation. I don't know yet. First impressions are hard because it's really hard to give you guys like a really in-depth opinion since it's my first time wearing it. But you guys can see how it looks right now. My opinion so far is that I like it. I just want to master the color and then I'm definitely going to continue to use these. You guys know I typically don't use a brush to apply my foundation. Beauty blender is my jam. That's what I like. That's what I use. That's what I prefer. But if you are a brush gal, I really do like this brush. I kind of feel like it absorbed a little more of the foundation than I would have liked. I know beauty blenders do too, but the softness of this brush and the angle of it, it's really easy to blend in your foundation. It was really super easy. I can go over like around my eyebrows and in my corners really well, which is kind of difficult with the beauty blender since it's rounder and not as precise as like a corner where I can just like carve around my brow. So I do like this brush. I wasn't streaky or anything. I kind of used like short strokes when the foundation was all over my face, and then once it was all in, I just kind of dabbed over it to kind of make sure everything melted into each other. So I do like this brush. I don't know how much it is. I'll leave like the price of these 3 items in the description box. I'm sure they're not too bad. Her pricing isn't usually that bad. I'll let you guys know in the caption, but yeah, I like it and you'll see it on a future video. If there's anything else you guys want me to review, make sure you leave it in the comments below as usual and give me a thumbs up if you liked anything about it. Like I said, even if it's the hair, my jacket, whatever, thumbs up. And yeah, until next time, love you guys.